Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will show you how to create a slope chart. So slope chart is basically we don't have any options to create slope chart in Excel. Like we don't have any direct options. If you go here and check in the charts option, we don't have the direct option to create a slope chart. Instead, what we will be doing is like we will be using the line chart and we will convert that line chart into a slope chart, right? So if you see here, we don't have any option particularly dedicated to create a slope chart. So in this video, I will show you how to use a line chart and how you can convert a line chart into a slope chart. And also I will show you example of Moody's which I have taken as a source data for you to show it as an example. And when it comes to slope chart, we can only have two maximum x-axis values. You will see that now in the video, and I will also show one more example of product sales data for slope chart. So let's get started with our first example for slope chart. So here I have created this. So this is how the slope chart will look like. So here I have created a data using this Moody's GDP forecast. This is a sample data. So basically slope chart is used to determine the slope between two numbers. So basically if you look at the data here, I have taken 2021 and 2022 as the estimates here, and these are the GDPs for these countries here, right? So what slope chart does is it will determine the slopeness between the two values, so 7.2 to 3.4. So you can see the slope has is in the downwards, right? So if it is above, then it means the GDP has increased. But if you can see, if you can observe the orange line here, the slope, the line is moving downwards, which means the GDP percentage of China has decreased, right? So that is the exact way you determine the slopeness of this uh, values here. So in the same way, if you look at the other sections, the blue line, so in 2021, the GDP of India was 5%, but in 2022, it is 2.4%. So the slope is downwards, right? So that is how you can actually determine the uh, values using slope chart. Now I will show you how to create this kind of slope chart in Excel. So let us start creating it from scratch. So right, so to create slope chart, first thing we need to do is we need to select the data range here and go to the insert section. From the insert section, select a line chart. So this is the line chart which you need to select here. So let me move this a little bit here. Yeah. After selecting the line chart, what you need to do is you need to convert this. You need to switch row by column. To switch this chart into row by column, you can see here we have the option here to switch the row by column. Just you need to click on this, and the line chart will convert into a slope chart. But our scenario is not yet completed. We need to make few more changes to get the final output. So once we converted that line chart into a slope chart, the next thing which we need to do is we need to remove this legends here, because I don't want the legends to be displayed here, but I want this to be displayed on the right side of this slopes here, right? So I will delete this legends here, and also I will remove this axis here. I don't want this here. I want to display this percentages here and here as well, right? So I will remove this one, and also I will remove the grid lines here. I don't want this, and I will bring this label downwards. So these are called the labels. So I will bring this labels downwards. To move this labels downwards, what you can do is you can just click on it and go to format axis section, right click and select the format axis, and in the format axis you will see the labels option here. Click on that labels option, and in the labels option select as low, right? If you select it as low, it will move to downwards, right? So that is how you can move it to down. Now the next thing is to, now we are done with half of the process. The next step is to uh, uh, add the label values. So whatever the percentage, GDP percentage that are displayed here, we need to add them here as well. So to add the data labels, click on the chart, and so once you click on the chart, in the chart design tab, you will find add chart elements. If you click on that, you will find the data label section here, and you need to select the right thing. So you need to select this right option. Once you select this right option, you need to adjust this data labels. So currently you can see they are overlapping with each other, right? So let us adjust this data labels now. To adjust this data labels, what you need to do is you need to just click on it, and once again click on it, and then move the cursor, and you can see the we have adjusted this value here. So if you click on this both the values will be selected, right? So instead what you need to do is you need to double click on this so that only this element will be getting selected. Now let us adjust this one by one. So I am selecting right now. Let us move this value as well, and let us move this value as well. So make sure whenever you are moving these values, make sure your cursor is showing all the make sure your cursor changes to four arrows here. So right now we have adjusted this left side values here. Now yeah, we need to adjust this one as well. So let me bring it till here, right? Now let us adjust these values. Now on the right hand side values, we need to add the uh, countries here, right? So in the starting we removed the legends, right? So now we need to add the countries here, right? So that this percentage determine which countries values it is, right? So in order for us to recognize what uh, which percentage are associated with which countries, we need to add the countries here, right? So to add the countries here, what you can do is you need to click on that value here and right click on it and click on format data labels. In the format data label section, you will find the series name here. So if you click on series name, you will get the option here. So double click on it. So make sure you are only selecting this value. If you click like this and if you apply the data label, then the value will also get displayed here. So make sure you are selecting only this value and then right click on it and click on format data label. Now click on the series name option here, and now you can see we got the country name also being displayed here, right? So in the same way, let us apply the series name to rest other values here as well. So yeah, and one more thing, these are this the whatever the values which you are seeing here are only the sample data. Don't think these are the real values. These are only sample data. Just for explaining purpose, I have taken this data. Right now we have added all the series names for this values here, right? Now we are almost done with our slope chart. The only thing is to rename the chart, which is um, Moody's GDP forecast, right? We have renamed this chart title, and now you can, if you want, you can increase the font size, or you can even bold this text here. So just select that and click and press Ctrl V to bold. Yeah, now we are done with the slope chart. Now from the slope chart we can determine the slopeness of each of the countries here, right? So the GDP value percentage of China has also decreased. How we can say that it decreased, because by looking at the forecast percentage in 2021 and the forecast percentage in 2022, we can determine the slopeness, because the slope is moving downwards. It is determined that the the forecast percentage has decreased for China, right? In the same way for USA also, the slope, the GDP percentage has moved to downwards to minus 0.2%. So that is why the slope line is moving downwards, right? So if the slope line is moving upwards, then it is increasing. Then that determines that the percentage has increased. So for example, let's take this one. Let's take India as an example. Now if I make change here, if I if I change it to 9.4, then you can see how the slope line has moved to upwards. Previously it was moving in the downwards, now it went to upwards, right? So now you can determine how in 2021 the GDP percentage was 5%, and in 2022 now it is 9.4%. Now looking at the slope uh, line, you can determine that the GDP percentage has been increased, right? So in that way, you can measure measure the forecast values using slope chart, right? So I hope you understood this example. So in the same way, let me explain about slope chart with one more example here. So this example is about product sales data. So here also I've taken the same slope chart. The only thing which I changed here is the products here. Here I have taken the product sales data. So here you can see the laptop's value. So here you can see the laptop section. In 2021 we had 89,846 sales, but when it comes to 2022 the sales have decreased to 37,236. So that is why the slopeness of this line has got decreased. It is in the downtrend, right? Now, but if you look at the fridge sales, in 2021 the sales were 64,000, and in 2022 the sales were 3,13,000, and that is why you can see the slope trend is upwards, right? So that is how you can uh, understand how the slope chart works and how you can uh, determine the values using slope chart. So, so I hope you understood this uh, process of creating slope chart. So let me do this one more time. So first we need to select all the values here, then go to the insert section and you can choose this line chart. After selecting this line chart, uh, what you need to do is you need to convert this line chart into row by column. So how you need to convert? You need to click on the switch row column, and then the line chart will get converted into a slope chart. After converting it to a slope chart, we need to remove this all these values, legend values, and also this axis values, and you can also remove this grid lines. Now after that, we need to add the data labels to this slope chart, right? So in order to add the data labels, what you need to do is you need to go to the chart design section, and on the left hand side you will see the add chart elements. Under add chart elements, select the data labels option and select the right one. Now after selecting the data labels, just select one particular option here. Instead of, if you click here, both the options will get selected. So instead what you need to do is you need to double click on that, so only this value will get selected. And after selecting, you need to just drag it uh, slightly so that it will move till here, and you can see Excel has automatically given a line here, right? So in the same way, let us do this. Let me increase the size. So let us move this a little bit here, and in the same way, let us move it here, right? Right. Now after moving this values, now we need to add the product names here, right? So once again, to add the product names, you need to select only this value here. Double click on it and right click and select format data label. In the format data label, select the series name option. Right. And after that, in the same way, let's apply to rest other values as well. Once again, for this value as well, series name. And if you want, we can also move this section here, right? Format data labels, and now you can see both the values got selected, right? So make sure you are selecting only one value at a time, and let us apply this for this value as well. Sorry. Right now we added all the value series names and data labels as well. After adding the series name and data labels, either you can bold the values, or it's up to you whether if you want to leave it like this, you can leave it, or you can even bold the values here. And you can also rename the chart, so sales data, right? So in just 2 minutes we have created the this slope chart, right? So it is very easy. If you understand the concept, it is very easy. So I hope you understood the process of creating, how we created, uh, how we converted a line chart, and how we converted a line chart into a slope chart, and how we added this data labels, and how we adjusted this values here. So I hope you understood the process of creating the slope chart. If you have any questions, please put it them in the comment section. I will answer them. And if you find this video to be informative and useful to you, then please consider subscribing to my channel so that I can make much more interesting videos on Excel. Thank you.